Welcome back.
Welcome to the TAE Time Podcast.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. Just like
To
a
the TAE
little
Time Podcast.
breath beforehand.
Yeah.
How you guys? How are you
Yeah.
guys? How you been?
Cozy winter has begun in Ireland. It is freezing for my African brothers and sisters and the other people from hot climates. It is cold out here. We are battling in the streets. It's -1 degrees, -2 degrees. I think it even touched -3. Disgusting. There's snow on the ground, not like cover the ground like in other European countries, but like there's snow on the ground. It is freezing. It is freezing. I actually saw an interesting TikTok. Sorry, this is a real side note. But the reason if some girl from Canada, where they're used to like -20 or whatever
I
it
saw
is,
that video, yeah.
it's like she was here in England and she's like, why is this so much colder here even though it's not as cold? It's actually because the water vapor is still in the air, so that makes your skin dry out and all these things dry. Whereas at those super extreme cold temperatures, it's already it's gone, it's evaporated. There's no water vapor, so it doesn't feel as cold. It's just dry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is why we are suffering in this climate.
So in this climate, obviously, what I'm hearing is you need to moisturize, keep warm, and take your vitamin D tablets. Actually, this is the time to do it.
There is no sun. No, the sun is hiding in the sky. Make sure you use your vitamin D because I use that shit like crazy.
Do you actually?
I use vitamin D every day, actually.
Oh my God.
I was prescribed it by my doctor for all my other array of drugs I have to take every day. But yeah, vitamin D is something I get. Even when it's summertime, I still have to take vitamin D. You guys just don't got sun here in Ireland like that.
Yeah, not enough.
You
Not
know?
nowhere near enough. But anyways, as you can see, we're all warm and cozy, and today we're gonna talk about friendships. Actually, for who has no friends is struggling. No.
I have no friends. I'm not a good friend person. Ask any of my friends. Wait, what? What did you just say?
We're friends.
Yeah, friends.
Right. So obviously, you know, everyone has friends or tries to make friends, or even if you like being alone, you've definitely encountered at some point interactions with other people.
Yeah.
You know, so friendships happen from a very young age, and I compiled a couple of questions for us to answer today. And we're just going to give our personal takes. Don't take offense to anything or...
It's all anecdotal, you know, it's all anecdotal. It's our own personal experience, our own whatever. Like,
Exactly.
I'm going this as blind as you guys because she set up this topic. I have no idea. I didn't even read the fucking notes pad that she put up. So I'm just here.
And it's shared, so he should have, but he didn't.
No, because I wanted to go in blind. I wanted
Yeah.
to experience this with you at home watching this. I wanted to be like there.
Okay, on to the first question. What was your very first friendship encounter like?
My very first friendship encounter. That was probably back in Nigeria when I was very young. It was these kids I lived in my, I guess, like block, if that's what you're gonna call it, the
In
kind
the
of place
ends.
I lived. Yeah, but in the place I lived, it was like this guy and this girl. Those were the two friends, and I know it was fine. I guess it was calm. Like from what I remember, my mom and my dad could argue otherwise, but obviously, as my feeble brain can remember, that I just remember them. Sadly, that little girl died. But
geez,
Nigerian,
starting
that,
off rough.
you know. But that's why I just remember playing. But I for the most part when I was young was very lonersome. Like I just played with my toys by myself.
Like today?
Stop. But yeah, no, I literally just played with my toys with myself. Like a lot of the photos my parents would have is like of me playing with my toys with myself. I just really stayed by myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't really like, as I said this before in the podcast, but like I'm an extroverted introvert. I'm very introverted, but I can be extroverted, you know, so I never really cared to like get close to people and stuff like that.
But how did it happen that you became friends with them? Was it just circumstantial because you were living
I
close
think it was
by?
because we lived near each other, you know, and due to that, we just became friends and hanged around or whatever. But once again, I didn't like go out of my way to hang around with them. I was never chasing after them. I was just like chilling on my own, and they would come to me. Kind of
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. It's like, oh, look at that little freak right there. My first friendship, I think it was circumstantial as well because it was just neighbors. So the first like friendship that I can remember, it was my neighbors, and it was this guy who we were the same age and we were in the same class, so automatically we were kind of closer. But I was friends with a lot of his siblings, and because I was by myself, I was always at their house. We were just chilling together. But then, you know, in school, I remember the kind of friends that I had were in the same, how to put this, like, category as me. So not the rich, bougie, cool kids, more the
pavos. The pavos. Nicola was a dirty pavo, sit in the corner with the rest of the pavos.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we all did talk, obviously, but they were cliques from a young age. I don't know.
To be honest, let me just say something here. I'm surprised that this was the situation.
Yeah.
You should see the fucking little village, Nicola, that comes from fucking little Utvin in Timișoara. You should see this place. I don't understand how there could have been any classism in this danky little town. Like the village, sorry. In Utvin, Timișoara. Can you imagine? Yeah. I saw the school too. This small little shack.
Yeah, that's, now that you say it, it makes sense. But see, one of the girls, her dad was the mayor, right? So it was a big thing.
My daddy makes the rules.
It was crazy. And then obviously her close friends were in her group, but they were the ones with like bigger homes. It's like cooler looking homes.
They had an extra room. Can you imagine that? Like, their bathroom wasn't outside. It was inside.
Yeah, do you know what? I think everyone pretty much had toilets outside. Let me not lie. I think most of us did. But yeah, they had the running water type homes, and automatically the rest of us just kind of stuck together, you know? So
had to fetch water, you know? So
yeah.
We all had that experience.
Yeah.
Some of you at home never had to fetch water.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was my first encounter with friendship. So what was yours? You know, let us know. On to the next question. What are some signs that a friendship may be toxic or unhealthy?
When you thought you guys were really good friends and then some new kid shows up to the school and they like this girl, and so they start bullying you because that girl is friends with you, and so your friend that's meant to be your friend ends up siding with the guy who bullies you, and then they sit in the corner with him, your friend being with another girl, and then that girl that was your friend with this guy that thinks you're a dickhead and bullies you, and so now you're ostracized from the rest of the class, and then you're just there by yourself, and then you're like, wow, I thought this guy was my friend, but you know, this person is now part of the people who are bullying me. But I don't know about that situation. Who would not understand that? But I guess
I think that wasn't oddly specific at all. It's just random. It happens to all of us.
Fuck you. You know who you are. Fuck you. I can't remember the kid's name, but yeah, no, like when your friend probably like, I think a good sign, I think it depends on like what age group you're in. So let's start young. When you're like in primary school, if your friend is kind of like belittling you a little bit, like obviously there's probably no primary school students listen to this, but like
I have a story about this
yeah,
one.
like if they're like belittling you or like, you know, taking things from you or being like, oh, what? You don't have this, or
yeah, or excluding you, because let me tell you, one time in my own little village, so these kids just found out about the game rock paper scissors, right? And the words weren't said correctly, but they knew what they were doing, and I kind of butted in. I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, can I play? And they were like, we don't want to teach you this. Like, you wouldn't get it. I was like, oh my God.
Raul, you don't understand. Look at those. No comprende. You wouldn't get it.
Oh my God. So, yeah, that was pretty toxic. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, stuff like that. And then in secondary school, it's kind of like they will shit on you, but not like in the you're jabbing your friends, you know, you're shit on each other for fun. No. They shit on you when they're not meant to shit on you in front of people that they shouldn't shit on you in front of. You know, that's kind of a sign. They're like, you know, we're just like that. No, they're not. They hate you. They hate you low key. Don't deep it. They're like, it's not deep. It's deep. And then when you're an adult, I'd hope to God that any sense of toxicity you see in another human being, you're like, get out of my life.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
To be honest, you're too old to deal with that shit. You're too old to deal with that shit.
Absolutely.
Oh, in college, if they fuck your friend. That's all. That's all too. Because that happens a lot in college, and I don't know what you guys let that slide. I'm not gonna. You're like, oh, I was doing you a favor. No, they were going to do it anyway.
Yeah, and you know, like people do kind of have that was it bigger than thou or whatever?
Yeah.
I can get your girlfriend, like, but you're my friend. You're not meant to be doing that. And I completely agree with you on the secondary school part. For me, I felt like, because, you know, I was like a foreign kid and we all kind of stuck together, that was great. We had our own little group, except that in that,
your own little outcast.
yeah, we were. Do you know?
You were. It wasn't by choice.
It wasn't. Like, we tried. Okay, people didn't like us like that. But I found that even in those groups, there were groups of where you're from, and the girls that were from a specific country kind of stuck together and had their backs for each other, even though they're in the wrong. So it did happen to me that one time. You know, I was kind of talked about that, like, someone said that I said something that I didn't say, and when I brought up, I was like, yo, like, what's up, what happened? They all had each other's backs, even though one of them was meant to be my best friend, and I was shook it.
Yeah, no, things like that does happen. Honestly, it's kind of like the situation, but like I think people do tend to stick with their own like little cliques. It's like how the Irish kids were racist to me together, but that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, no.
I mean, you guys have heard the stories.
Yeah, you have collective. You know, they're like, Farouk called us marshmallows. Farouk didn't call you shit. You called me a nigger. But okay.
They're not even on the same page. But yeah, as an adult, any bit of toxicity, run away. I think you should be able to tell, like, even if you feel uncomfortable, unhappy, you have some doubts, either address them, talk them through your friend, talk them through with your friend, or walk away, go on a different path of life.
Absolutely.
On to the next question. What category of friends do you like or dislike the most?
Categories. You go first, because I don't know what the fuck a category means.
Okay, for me, the category of friends that I like the most are girls. I love my girls. And I think it might be because I wasn't always a girl's girl, and I was kind of always almost comparing myself to other girls or like competing, and I think I hated that about myself, the way I was looking at other girls and, you know, trying to tear them down almost.
So you were a pick-me?
There were no guys. This was like all girls.
You were a pick-me.
And everything.
The girls a pick-me. Oh, pick-me.
No, and I didn't like that. And I think I had a point where I was like, yo, I don't like this at all. I'm all for girls, and I like men too. Sometimes men are okay. But, you know, girls that hype each other up, have each other's back, or even if a girl's in an argument with a guy, I will have a girl's back, even if she's completely wrong. And then afterwards, I'll be like...
That's problematic. That's problematic.
Not if it's like hurting the other person.
But you said that she's wrong.
If it's like a fact about something or some stupid thing.
I think you should just be on the right side.
No, listen. Sometimes you just gotta protect your little silly friends. Yeah, period. What's your favorite category of friends?
Ride or dies.
Okay.
Would you die for me? Yes. I'm your friend. I'm joking. Just like people who always got your back, like bros, like, you know, like my guys who always have your back. I really don't care if it's a guy or girl, to be honest, personally. I'm not allowed to have female friends because of Nicoletta.
That's not true.
Okay.
That is
anyway,
not true.
moral of story is anyone who's willing to have my back, I'll have your back. Like, I just respect people who respect me and respect themselves and so on and so forth. So we always have each other's back. We always can have fun. I just be able to have a laugh, honestly. Yeah. You know, like, as in, like, you know, if I'm going to eat, all my brothers eat too, you know, kind of thing. Aww. I'm really for that. You know, if I win, everyone wins. You know, like, you uplift the people around you. And that's what I really like. And I like people who have the exact same mentality, you know, because, like, we all in this together. Like,
yeah, no, and I completely agree on that one. I think that's what my girls version of it was.
No, because because you're blindly no.
No, I'm all for women hyping each other up because men always tear us down. So I don't like that.
As if it doesn't happen the other way around.
As you should. It's been happening for too long the other way. Okay. Next. And then for the like least favorite category of friends, this is oddly specific, but I've encountered it before with friends, and I've seen it happen again, so I was like, you know what, this is weird. Okay, so say you meet a friend and then you introduce them to your other friends, so they become friends, and then they introduce you to your other friends, and then you lot go to London together. It's all happy go lucky. You know, everyone's happy. That
was oddly specific. Very specific.
Yeah, and I think this is what usually happens, you kind of introduce friends to your friends, you hang around, blah, 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 blah. And this usually happens a lot. But I've had some encounters with people who would like not invite you to anything. So they would come to everything you invite them to, but everything that they would do, they would keep you separate. Like, they wouldn't introduce you. And for the first while, it's like, it's whatever. But then you start noticing it, and it's kind of making you question, should I stop inviting them? Like, why don't they want to have me around? Why don't want to introduce me?
Why is it always me, like, extending an arm, but they're never extending an arm for me?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to make acquaintances, meet new people, like, have experiences, whatever. And I think there might be 3 reasons to this. Please add to this if there's anything else. 1, I think they want to appear as this social butterfly with such an interesting little life, always doing so many little different things with so many different groups of people, and that's just weird. Like, if someone's your friend, they're your friend. Like, it shouldn't be like that. The second reason could be because they might think that their other friends will like you more, and
jealousy.
They might not want to bring you around. And then what was my third reason? I'm trying to think. Do you have anything while I think of it?
I could also be like, sometimes people don't do it maliciously. It's just like not in their nature, you know, because like, as in, it could be like, you invite them, but maybe like they don't initially think about inviting. Because like, I don't usually think about inviting my friends to other things my friends are doing. You get me? Even despite the fact that they'd invite me, but it's not because I don't want them around. It's just I just don't think about it. Because people kind of like split friend groups in their head. Like I know I do that. Like I have boxes. I was like, these friends hang together. These friends hang together. These friends hang together.
And that's fine.
And I don't like cross. Like if it happens, it happens. Like I don't mind. Like there are times that I've had cross friend groups like hang together.
Like when I set up your birthday, I invited
exactly cross
friends,
friend groups, right? You know, and stuff like that. And I have no issues with that. But then but like I would never initially in my brain think, oh, I'm going to cross the friend groups. I just go like, oh, I'm going to hang out with these ones or so on and so forth.
Yeah, but I think the thing is like, you know, you're meeting with them separate, whatever, but it's not like you're now setting things up and you're constantly not inviting other people, but you're inviting the rest. So if it's like a bigger group and you're mixing some categories, just not one, and this is meant to be, say, some of your best friends, right?
Okay.
So it's just a little bit like, never really ever. Like, what's the point of that?
Maybe they're just a friend you want to hide. No, some of us have friends we want to hide. It's like, I like you, but other people won't like you, so I don't want to be with you.
That was my third reason I actually brought that up. Maybe they just don't, they think that their other friends won't like you, or they don't like you, but then why are they your friend?
No, because like, I have friends that are problematic that I like hanging around with, but I wouldn't hang around with them with other people because I know they're problematic.
You're problematic because why are they your friend?
No, because we've been friends for too long. You know, by me saying that, you know exactly who you are.
Frick, you take that back right now.
You know who you are. But like,
nice
like,
guy.
as in like, I guess like, as in like, they are fine in certain scenarios, but I know in the scenario in which I will bring them in, they will not be fine. So I'm like, why would I bring you to that scenario? Let me keep you in the scenarios in which you're fine and calm and collected, and not the scenarios where you won't be fine. Anyway, moral of the story is sometimes you have to just separate friend groups because you have to. Sometimes you do it without even thinking about it. Sometimes you do it because you're a malicious fucking bitch. But like, you know, different scenarios.
I don't have friends who I would not bring around other friends. So maybe that's just a you thing because you're like, we've been in this for too long. I think I'm very comfortable to bring all my friends together. And I have, and, you know, whatever. It was all great because I like to believe that I'm friends with really beautiful people who will just get along with each other. So on to the next question.
I don't know about that.
Okay. How can you address conflicts or issues in a friendship?
You call it out. See,
how?
That's why I like my friends. We can just call each other shit out instantly because I feel like this is like, once again, this might just be my what they call it, my internalized misogyny or something,
it is,
right?
Period.
This could be my internalized misogyny or whatever it is. Like I have no problem calling that out. But from what I've seen, I always find like guys, especially with guys groups, it's so easy to resolve conflicts. Guys just fight and get over it, or fight and break up. There's
Not
no
always.
well.
I've seen one scenario of yours
Well, yeah,
where that
obviously,
didn't
like a
happen.
majority of the cases I have lived anyway. And I do find like guys are much more proactive and like, yo, bro, I don't like this or whatever, fight, whatever, talk, whatever. Whereas I feel like girls don't confront things directly. Girls don't ever go to another girl and like, girl, this is a problem for me. You just shit talk them behind their back, and like you're complaining to other people about them instead of actually going to the person that you have the issue with and discussing it. You're just shit talking, and then you kind of like you kind of give them the cold shoulder. But then when you see it, you're like, oh my god, blah blah blah. It's like, and I've seen Nicoletta do it, and I've seen lots of other girls I know do it either as well. And I just don't understand. I'm like, just tell them.
I first of all, I want to say I think it is you who's capable of being open, honest, and not like that, because I've seen other guys trash talk their friends and I've heard it. So I think this is very you specific.
The people you surround yourself with.
You're very capable. Like you're very capable. But I would say like I've gotten better, because I definitely was the girl who did that, like I said. And like to this day, like if there's something that annoys you about someone, I don't think it's like, oh, this is enough for me to bring it up and cause chaos. No, it's just like, oh my god, they keep saying like a lot. That's me. That's annoying. Do you know? So it's small silly things like that I get called out for. But yeah, I think I definitely bring it up. Just bring it up. At the end of the day, if they're gonna be your friend, they will remain your friend. And if there's something that's bothering you, or maybe they're treating you a certain way, or whatever it is, bring it up, address it. Don't just internalize it, because it's just going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not aware.
Exactly.
They're doing whatever they're doing. So if you just call it out and talk about it, you might be surprised that the issue will be resolved a lot easier than you think.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a bigger
instead of letting
issue.
it grow and fester and become a much bigger thing than it is, like you can nip in the bud and it'd be like, oh, yo, that's actually surprisingly easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't actually have to beef each other in secret.
Exactly. So just bring it up, address it, and sit them down calmly, collected, not while you're angry.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Make sure you're not
very relaxed about it.
On to the next question. How do you maintain and strengthen a long distance friendship?
You don't. You're either just gonna be good friends, whether you're long distance or not, or whatever. Because like, I'll say this for sure, I have friends that I am long distance with that I don't talk to at all. I'm going like message each other like here like once in a blue moon,
and their birthday,
and it's like, and it still feels like not a single bit like beat has been missed. Like we're still as close as ever. But we don't even talk to each other. And then I have some friends that I'll talk to a lot, that are long distance, that we'll talk to a lot more frequently, and it's still the same energy. Like that we are so super close. I think it all depends on you as a person. Like if like for you to maintain a long distance relationship with like a friend, you have to keep talking to them, then try do that, or try find a middle ground. Like, but for some, like I know I am in that camp that I can literally not talk to my friend for like a year, and then I see them and it's like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, absolutely. And that's completely valid as well. Like try to hear them out and how they would like to be treated too. Like if they want to reach out constantly, don't just air them because you're not the type of person who wants to talk. Do it for them and trying to strengthen the relationship and the
find
friendship.
Like some middle ground,
Exactly. I have a friend who moved away, and at the start she kind of just didn't hear from her, and I was like, what, I'm gonna let her live her best life and reach out here and there, like you said, in the blue moon, and it is what it is. And then when we started talking again, it was like nothing happened, and we just picked it back up, kind of just told each other stories. And now it's just kind of more, on and off how it was. And then I have other friends who I talk to more regularly, like, all the time. So it depends on the friendship dynamic, but definitely try to hear the other person out as well and what they would prefer, what they like, dislike, whatever. And don't forget about their birthdays.
Yeah. Just at least, on the birthdays, you be like, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Shout out to Cynthia. Period.
Shout out Dylan, Australia.
Shouting out the friends that are far away.
And Seth.
Exactly.
All the way in the Bay Area.
Very bougie, isn't it?
I know.
You have friends all over the world,
I have
boy.
friends all over.
I love to see it. On to the next question. How do you set boundaries in a friendship? I don't really understand the question.
Like, so let's say,
Oh no.
this is one lots of girls deal with. Let's say you're a girl, you have a very close female friend, you have a boyfriend, and your close female friend is a very friendly person. She has no interest in hitting on your boyfriend at all whatsoever, but she's a friendly person, and she's just as I said, very friendly. But with how friendly she is with your boyfriend, it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable because you are like, as I would love to say, insecure. But no, obviously everyone has their own boundaries. But like, it's like, oh, you're not comfortable with
I
someone.
don't think it's fair for you to talk from a female
I'm
perspective.
once again,
This is your question
I'm not.
for
I know.
you.
I'm just using an example of real world examples.
Well,
I have
I wanted
seen.
to talk about a real world example
Okay.
too.
Okay. I'm sorry, madame. I'm sorry.
As you should be.
I was just saying that like the boundary would be like, hey, I understand you're a friendly person, but please don't be overly friendly with my boyfriend. Okay, from a male perspective, I don't have none really, like, because I don't care. Like, they're my friend. I don't give a shit. That's why I had to use a different anecdote. But, like, for me personally, like, if there was something my friend did I didn't like, I just say, yo, I don't like that. Don't do that. You can do that with other boys. Don't do it with me. Calm. End of story.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen you set boundaries with like some friends who go a little bit crazy on nights out or something.
I don't know if I set boundaries.
Well, you call that out.
Yeah, just calling it out. Like
Yeah.
me calling out my friends for the shit they do
Yeah.
is, I feel like, is me being a good friend, because I'm like, if I'm calling it out,
Yeah.
it's because I see there's a problem and I'm hoping to help you before it becomes even worse, right? It's not like me being like, oh, I don't like it, like, because I
Yeah.
can tolerate it, but I'm like, yo, for your own good. Like, for example, one of my friend drinks a lot, all right, or does whatever, and and all that stuff, and I'm like, yo, listen, this is bad. Like, yes, feel free to drink, there's no problem, but don't drink as much as you're doing. I'm like, you're just going to turn into an alcoholic. Like, you're drinking every day. Like, take some breaks, do this, do that, and I don't do it because it's like, oh, annoying to me or whatever. It's like, yo, I care about you. You're my friend. You're my brother. I want the best for you, and I want you to take care of your health. Like, don't over abuse this because it can lead you down the dark path, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, and it's because I care about the person. You know, it's not because,
Yeah.
oh, boundaries, I don't drink, this is annoying, whatever.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to stop you. I just want the best for you.
How about if someone like constantly wants to hang around with you all the time or talk to you all the time?
Oh, yeah. Then
Do
I just
you
be like,
set-
yo, hold up. I do not like hanging around this much.
You would
Calm
say
down.
to them?
Yeah.
That's so mean.
Once again, listen, you little sad sacks of bitches. Male and
Mean.
female, okay? There is nothing wrong with telling people, yo, I do not like how clingy you are or how much you want to hang around. Give me some space. If someone is not mature, especially at a grown age, to understand you being like, hey, I love hanging around with you, but me personally, I can't hang around that much because I just like my own personal space sometimes. And then as any reasonable adult, they'd be like, that makes sense. The comfort at which I have for tolerating, like, constantly seeing someone is not the same as you. So I will take a step back and hang around with you at the rate at which you feel comfortable with. But it's not going to deteriorate our friendship in any sense. Thank you. Adulting.
You're welcome. Yeah, just to touch on boundaries, obviously, because you did say earlier, oh, Nicola doesn't want me to have female friends. That's literally cap. My issue with some women that have come towards Farouk have been that they Farouk, specifically him sitting right here, it's been that they're doing it in a very like flirty way, or there's been scenarios where it's been me, you, and another female, and I've been excluded from conversations. I've been just left out. And this would be like for time, or like I wouldn't be asked opinions on things. It just wouldn't be part of the conversation. And that is such a big no-no for me. That's so unhealthy in my opinion. And the thing is, you've been around my other friends. We've been going on late night drives. We've like done McDonald's drive-thrus at 5 a.m. And I know the type, like, I have no problem. Like, if you were to meet up with her, go for coffee, I wouldn't care. I'd be happy. I'd be like, how is she, right? And
she would not be comfortable with that. Because I
What are you
just
talking
bully
about?
her. I'd bully her.
Oh, she wouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because I
know.
straight bully her for like the amount of time.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because you look at the dynamic and you're like, what's, how are they like? And I pretty much all my girlfriends, I'm like, they're fine around you, I don't care. And even other female friends that you have, I'm okay with you hanging around. I want you to be able to click in your head if they're doing something that's, overstepping. And the problem is that a lot of the times you don't know how to figure that out, but you've gotten much better. You've come home before and be like, she was hitting on me so hard, and I'm like, so proud. He's doing so great.
She's lying. I don't get hit on. No girl wants me. That's why I'm with her.
No, but yeah, just make sure that if there is situations where you feel uncomfortable, like, address it with both people, by the way. Don't,
Yeah, don't just blame your boyfriend.
your boyfriend or your friend. Make sure that it's discussed with both of them, so they're both aware of what's happening. And from there, they take it how they take it. At the end of the day,
Yeah, exactly.
you've communicated how you felt.
And you move on from there.
Period. Okay, how do you know when it's time to end a friendship?
When you are sick and tired of hanging around with them, or they annoy you, or they're toxic, or any of those things. The moment you're like, that's probably a good time. Like, if you think about the person, you're like, end that shit.
Yeah.
It's not worth your time.
I think the thing is, a lot of the times, when there's friends, when you're friends together from young, and you're still fighting for the friendship to go on.
And you grow out of it.
Even though it should be over.
Yeah, a
but
long
you're
time
forcing
ago.
it.
In college. After they annoyed you multiple times. And then you live together. They annoyed you multiple times. And now it's like 10 years. And they're still somehow in your life a bit. And you're like, why are they in my life?
Yeah.
Yeah, you. Bald back. I'm joking. You're okay.
It's like if it's at a point where you no longer even have the same interests, or have nothing to even talk about, maybe let that friend go.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they're just not the friend for you anymore.
Absolutely.
On to another question. What are some ways to make new friends as an adult?
You see, I always find this so funny because like adults find it hard to make friends. But I'm like, how? It's really not that hard. Just go do stuff. Like, honestly,
How'd you do
you're
stuff?
trying to make friends? Go do something. Do a sport. Do a hobby. Do a whatever. You'll make friends there. Like, it's easy to make friends doing things you like. So go do something you like and make friends. And then they're your friends. End of story. I have made friends going clubbing. Literally.
You went clubbing by yourself.
I have gone clubbing by myself
that.
and made friends. Literally. And we have then met up again. It's not that hard. The only thing stopping you from making friends is you.
I'm shook. I don't know what it is about Farouk. He's such a sticky type of person. People just go up to him all the time. I don't know why you're so approachable.
I'm not threatening.
I'm not either.
I'm not threatening. I don't have a resting bitch face.
Hey.
No, I'm joking. I do. I actually do. But when I'm in...
Farouk, when he walks by himself on the street, looks scary.
I do have a resting bitch face and a scary bit, a resting face. Don't let this smile fool you. I look like a fucking street criminal.
No, you don't.
But myself. But no, honestly, like, I think it's just a situation of when I'm doing something I like, I'm very personable. Like, I'm very, like, able to be like, hey, yo, I guess because I'm just like, why do I care? Like, like there's no care in the world. It's like hang around with anyone,
Mm-hmm.
And I think people can resonate with that because everyone wants to hang around with people, but they're just shy to. So I'm like, yo,
yeah,
come on.
I think see, the thing is, you never even have to try it. People just come to you. I've seen it happen. I'm not just even saying it. I've seen people just go up to him and be like, yo, bro, I like your hat, whatever it is, and then that's it. They bond from
you
there.
Start a conversation from there. It's like, yo, thank you. I like your whatever the fuck, and then you just keep talking.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool. I really admire that. For people who do struggle, however.
Yeah, Nicoletta, we should be asking you this question. Explain. How, as an adult in your big age of 25, do you make adult friends?
Bro, I don't know. No, I think a main outlet is whatever activity you're doing. So for me, it was work. I met, beautiful people through work that I'm still friends with, quite close friends with. And then I've met some of their friends, become friends with their friends. So, that kind of like passing on of friends, and then you just pick and choose which ones that you get along with the most, which ones you have the most, interest in common or whatever. But I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, that I did struggle in college. And for when Farouk says, go up and strike a conversation, well, that didn't work for me. Okay.
Maybe you're just shit at starting a conversation. Like, have you ever thought deep that maybe the way you think it goes in your head is not the way it goes in real life, and they're like you're like, hey, how are you? I really like this, but what really happened is like, hi.
Like a sim.
Like, whereas for me, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I go and talk to the person.
That's not fair, because that's exactly what I did.
Once again, what's happening up here might not be what's happening out here.
That's exactly what I did. And I think, like I said, I've said this before.
I have said it. It's harder to make friends as a girl. Definitely.
I don't know why. I'm sorry if this is repeating myself and if you already heard the story before, but in my master's program, it was first day, induction, not even first day. It was induction, and we all got together. I went up to 3 different girls. And none of them wanted to stick around with me. Bro, I went up to one of them. I was like, oh my God, hi. Like, what did you do before this? What was your undergrad? And we chatted. And I was like, okay, great. New friend. And then she said, okay, I'm going to go for lunch with my other friends. I'll see you around. I was like, how do you have friends already? I'm so confused.
Well, I also think, like, Ireland is a lot more cliquey. Like, that's one thing. This is something, the problem they have, I think it's in Switzerland or one of those places.
Oh, the Nordic
No, in
Nordic
Switzerland,
countries,
yeah,
no?
because that's where my one of my mates, Mantis, used to live. Sweden. Yes, Sweden.
The Nordic countries, yes. Finland, Sweden.
Yeah, in Sweden. I don't know why I kept saying Switzerland. In Sweden, they're very cliquey. So, like, essentially, you have your friends from when you were young, and you just don't leave that clique. And the only time you ever make friends with anyone outside of that clique is if someone in that clique knows and someone in another clique, and then somehow. But besides that, they do not make new friends randomly. Like, they don't do that, apparently. Obviously, you can fact check me if I'm wrong or whatever.
I'm sure there are cases where it does happen.
Yeah, but from what I've heard, like, from the people who I know who have been there and lived there, like, apparently it's very much like that. Which is, I feel like it's kind of, so Irish people are very friendly. They're very friendly. But Irish people in the wild versus Irish people in, like, institutions and, like, schools and stuff like that is a whole lot of different scenario. I feel like they are very cliquey, as in, like, people are in their cliques and whatever, especially for girls. I feel like the guys are a lot more open, but for girls it's very cliquey. Whereas, like, I don't know, man. I think it's just girls the issue. Like, online, I've never had any problem with guys
women are the
being more
problem.
friends. Like, maybe, like, I don't know. Maybe women are a lot more, like, territorial. They're like, why are you trying to be friends with me?
I don't know.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Maybe they think you have an ulterior motive.
Oh, I want a friend. Boo. That's scary.
Because I do find that the only people, like, remember all our, like, Erasmus friends, like, foreigner friends, that complained about friends were girls. Every guy I knew that was, like, an Erasmus student or, like, a foreigner that came through, they had friends, because guys are just like, yeah, why go on? What are you saying? And once again, the problem goes back to girls. This could be, once again, internalized misogyny. I'm putting my hands out here. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong. But from my experience, I've never seen guys have issues. I always see girls have issues. And I wonder why that's the scenario.
Do you think part of it could potentially be the differences? It's like, well, you're not from here. You wouldn't understand the banter, the culture. So automatically they might not try to have you as a really close friend.
We can test this out. Nicoletta needs to, on a random place, go to people, go with her normal accent, right, to people, like a group of Irish girls, and then try to become friends. And then go to another group of Irish girls, put on her pure Kerry accent. And if they hear that and the Kerry accent works all the time, it's probably that then.
I don't know, because I look different too, so that comes into play.
No, it doesn't matter. When that Kerry accent you have comes out, there is no doubt in their mind.
Here.
Here.
What are you trying to say? Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. And like you said, it was the Erasmus students, or, foreign students from all around the world. It was one of my Italian friends who was very frustrated when she found out that the girls who were, like, friendly and chatty with whatever didn't actually want to be friends with her. And it hurts, because you're really thinking, oh, I've made new friends.
Am I the problem?
You know,
Am I the drama?
that's it. And unfortunately, I did warn her from the start. I was like, yo, respectfully, these people might not stick around. They might, but they might not stick around. And then when they didn't, she was really upset and really frustrated and didn't understand why they wouldn't talk to her while she was outside smoking, but they were smoking in a different corner. It's like, we're in the same class. Why aren't you talking to me?
They just don't like you like that.
It's so sad.
Get
And
the hint and take
yeah.
the road, kid.
I feel for them. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough out here. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
On to the last question of today. What are some ways to show appreciation and gratitude to your friends?
Give them a hug.
When was the last time you hugged a friend?
I hug my friends. Don't get hurt. Don't get this twisted. I just can't think off the top of my head. But no, just be like, I don't know. The fuck?
I like that you started very confident and then had to back.
Feelings and shit? I know. I tell my friends I like them and like care about them and love them and stuff. So
You actually do.
I do.
That's
I
very
actually
surprising.
Do. I actually do. Nicoletta was surprised that I tell my friends I like them and care about them and stuff like that. Because she's like,
You cold-hearted.
You robot. You robot, you machine. Yeah, but no. Like, but I will say it's kind of a weird streak for me. As in, like, if my friends show me affection, I will show them affection. But if they don't show me affection, then I'll never have a reason to show them affection. You get me?
I get you.
So, like, I am not the initiator. I am the reciprocator. I reciprocate it. But if you initiate it, I will reciprocate. If you don't, then I'm just like, cool.
Yeah, you respect people's boundaries or whatever.
No, it's just because I'm not really like that. But, you know, I can appreciate it. And then I'm like, yo, let me reciprocate it because I actually, too, feel this way. You know, it's like my friend was like, oh, you're really cool. I really love you. And I'm like, oh, you know what? You're really cool. I really love you, too. You know? But, like, if it's like, yo, cool. Yeah.
No, but I have seen you initiate the not the conversation, but you would say out of nowhere, like, oh, man, I actually really like you, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's so sweet because... Wow.
She's like, I don't even get that.
He said that. He actually said that. One time when we were chilling, Farouk like looked at me and he was like, oh, you're actually kind of good looking. I'd be forgetting sometimes, you know.
Nah, she made me sound like a bastard there. Nah, that's going to be a soundbite if I've ever heard one.
Oh my God. Oh my, thank you, babe. Thank you so much. I think you're gorgeous.
Nah, she made that sound a lot worse than it was. It was not
That's exactly
that
how it happened.
I'm just saying what sounds like. Fuck.
That's exactly how it happened.
Nah. Now the girls in comments are gonna be like, damn, he toxic. Leave him. But like I was trying to do my best way to like reinforce like what was the thing that they show appreciation to tell your girl you're beautiful and stuff like, you know.
I mean, you could have just called me beautiful and left it at that.
We forget sometimes, you know. Fuck.
Like, okay, we move. The way that I like to show gratitude to my friends, definitely through talking, reaching out. Maybe if you haven't talked in a while, be like, hey, how you been? Without like an ulterior motive, like, oh, I need something from them, let me reach out now. Because that has happened before, but reach out genuinely to see how they are, how they're doing, how's life. Maybe even have a phone call, like video, FaceTime, whatever.
And if you do that, when you want to reach out for an ulterior motive, it won't seem weird.
Yeah, Farouk here.
Big brain.
With the big brain. Maybe, you know, if they're going through a hard time, maybe if they're sick, bring them a little soup and some oranges. I think
Give
that's
them
cute.
gifts.
Small little gestures that you can do, you know, to show your gratitude.
Yeah.
Or definitely a main thing is, do tell your friends that you like them and you love them, because I feel like friends don't really tell that to each other enough.
I feel like girls do that a lot, but guys don't.
Yeah, which was so refreshing to see you and your friends do it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing it before, but I definitely started doing it a lot more, and I'm like, oh, I love you, girl. I really do. Period. So that was our questions of the day. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, hope this gives you tips and tricks on how to make friends if you have no friends. Or if you don't want friends, that's cool too. I feel like that a lot of the times, clearly. And
What are you
but
talking about?
I still got friends,
Who's your best friend?
I don't have a best friend. I have best friends.
Who's the main?
There's no
best
main friend.
Who's one of them?
Who's one of them? Wale. I really like you, bro. Yeah, Dylan, how are you, bro? Yeah, there's a good few. Yeah, so there's this one girl I know, pretty cool. But yeah, that's all for today, to be honest. Really appreciate
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and rate the episode if you're listening.
Peace.